Welcome in, welcome in. Going to get the August games done. Why we're in such a hurry? Well, because we've got September coming up, which will be a big focus. And this year in season five, we are going to have an extra week, no doubt, needed to get the playoffs. We have an extra round with 8 teams versus four being in there. So let's take a look at where we're at right here. On August 14th. Let's start cranking some of these games out. We can see that there's no real close races here except for two. Manchester 5.5 back, Chico's 5 back. So let's rattle some of these off. Manchester 3-1. Of course, they need a win. They're chasing San Francisco, who gets a loss. T-ville, a win for a league leader there. Chicago, we saw the Friday the 13th special. Chicago beats them again. Chico's beat St. Louis, which helps me. I'm a distant 9.5 back, but Chico's looks like they could be the team that really locks down the wild card right now, or even make a run at T-ville. Lancaster 3-2 win. Beantown beats Lehigh. Degens over Florence. Long Island over St. Pete. Edmonton a winner. Philadelphia beats Amazing. Vegas with the win. Move on to the 15th. St. Pete, Cleveland, Washington winners, and Hagerstown winners. Washington with a win here. Washington doing really good for an expansion team working their way back, getting real competitive. Anxious to see them next year. Chico's a 10 inning win for Lehigh. St. Louis over Beantown. Brooklyn a winner. Edmonton, Manchester. San Fran with a loss. So Manchester now only 3 back. All part of the MV plan, we're supposed to believe. Crystal Lake with a win. T-ville with the win, and Degens with the loss. So as we look now, as we go into the 17th, big game here for maybe wild card implications. Lehigh beats Chico's, early win with his 8th win. St. Louis loses to Beantown. Edmonton a winner. Manchester a winner. Vegas over Amazing. San Fran. Hagerstown. Who are the winners today going to be? Crystal Lake. Philly. Cleveland over St. Pete, Lancaster over T-ville, and Degens with the win. So now, as we get ready to start on the 18th, do we see any shift? We see Chico's 5.5 back. Manchester's cut it down to 3, and we're going to call this Sim Frenzy, baby. That's what we got going on at Sim Frenzy. So Lehigh and Chico's with a win. St. Louis, T-ville with a loss. Chico's is getting closer. Edmonton with the win. Degens loses. What's going on with Degens? Manchester with the win. Do they get a loss for San Francisco? They don't. Philly loses to Brooklyn, and Vegas beats Amazing. Crystal Lake with the win. T-ville at home against Chicago should favor T-ville. Beantown a winner. Chico's loses. Vegas wins. San Fran loses. What will that mean for Manchester, who's off today? St. Louis with the win. See what we're looking at. Manchester's only 2.5 back. Chico's 5.5. Those seem to be the races um, that are the closest to keep our eye on here as we close out. Amazing with a really comfortable lead there. St. Louis with the win. Degens beats Lehigh. T-ville loses. What will that mean for Chico's? Beantown with the win. Chico's with the win. So now Chico's is 4.5 back at T-ville. Manchester loses to Philly. San Fran with a win, moving to the 21st. St. Louis, Lehigh, T-ville, Chico's with a loss. Beantown a winner, Vegas loses, Manchester wins. San Fran loses. 2.5 back now is Manchester. This might be the tightest race we have going down. Chico's, though, still keeping it close. Manchester and Philly. Manchester with a win. Lehigh with a loss. What do we see? Degens, 8-game lead. St. Louis, 12. Chico's back 5. Manchester, 2 back. Let's keep our eye on that one. Why am I not playing a full game out? I just don't want to. Um, Beantown with a win. Degens with the win. T-ville. Crystal Lake comes in and stabs Lehigh in the heart. Hagerstown. St. Pete. San Francisco with the win over Amazing. Here's two teams, Manchester needing wins, Vegas with a comfortable lead, and Manchester upsets Vegas. Philly with the win. And Chico's with the loss. So as we go to the 24th, we're getting about 7, 8 days out. Manchester, another win over Vegas. Philly with the win. So Philly 8 back now. Chico's 9-6. Chico's will not go away. They're getting strong down the stretch. Degens upsets St. Louis. T-ville with the win. St. Pete, Crystal Lake, Cy Young gets his 3rd win of the season. San Francisco loses, and Chicago with the win. Cleveland, Chico's 6 back. Beantown with the win. St. Louis, Crystal Lake, a win for Bob Gibson. Amazing loses to San Fran. And Manchester, a pounding of Vegas, 12-5. Philadelphia loses. Maplewood, a winner. And Chicago beats Hagerstown. What do we have now? We got a 12-game lead for St. Louis, 9 for Degens, 8 for Vegas, and 13 for Amazing. It looks really tough. Really, again, 1 game back for Manchester. These will be the teams to watch. All part of the plan. St. Louis with the win. Chico's. Beantown. Vegas loses to St. Pete of all teams, and San Francisco upsets Philly. Manchester keeps pace. Amazing with the win. Lehigh loses. T-ville wins. On to the 27th. Amazing loses. Lehigh loses. T-ville beats Degens. Crystal Lake a winner. Beantown. St. Louis. Chico's with a loss. San Fran loses. And Manchester loses as well. It's a 1-game lead in the rain delay. Vegas at home against St. Pete with an easy win, and on to the 28th. What do we have? We got a 1-game lead. That's the one that's may come down to the wire. Lancaster with the win. Lancaster actually closing it in. They're only 6-7 back now as Degens wins. St. Louis shut out. Chico's is beat. Beantown loses. What about Philly? They lose to San Francisco. Manchester loses. So now the lead is 2 back. What will San Francisco and Manchester come up with for the September run to close out the season? MV no doubt will have something up his sleeve. We don't know what it is. May just be his arm. Edmonton, a loss. Crystal Lake loses. Amazing loses. Philly loses. Lizards lose. And T-ville loses. So 2 games left. And let me stand by to take a call. And I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Oh, and here we go. So on the 30th, what are we looking at? Manchester, can they close it? Head-to-head game against San Fran. It's a big one, folks. And Manchester now one game back with a head-to-head win at San Fran. St. Pete is out there. Cleveland. And again, we're going to have some great playoff baseball. Degens, amazing. Crystal Lake with a shutout. St. Louis, Lehigh squeaks by Florence. Philly with a loss. Chico's, I think Chico's is probably going to be in the driver's seat on the wild card, actually. T-ville with the win. Vegas with the win. And here we are on the last day of the month. And then we will look at the September playoff picture here real quick. Crystal Lake, a winner. Lehigh with the win. Chico's with the win. Beantown, St. Louis, Manchester ties it on the last day of August. They will be tied up heading into September. Look out, folks. It's all part of the plan. Philly loses. Brooklyn loses. Amazing with the win. Degens with the win. And Vegas against Hadley Lake with the win. And here we go. At the end of August, I will post this shortly, but let's take a look at the playoffs this year. There will be 8 teams in the playoffs. So right now, the division over here looks pretty well solidified, barring a Chico's comeback to win it. Chico's looks like they're in the driver's seat for the wild card. And just a reminder, the team that wins their division in each league, the best record of those division winners gets the privilege of selecting their first round playoff opponent. What fun will that be? Right now, that would be T-ville. They would have the honor of calling out their first round opponent. Over in the other league, we have amazing Vegas and Manchester. So right now, it would be Manchester or San Fran that would get to call out their opponent. And leading the wild card race, again, I think that's going to easily come from rain delay. So whoever does not win out of Manchester and San Fran, no doubt, will be the wild card by far. I mean, by far. So September should be fun. It looks pretty rough for anybody to catch Vegas. Amazing in those divisions. And there's no way I can catch St. Louis. Chico's is the only one really that has a chance to make a run at a division winner. And if not, looks like they should be the wild card. So this is getting to be really an anticlimactic pennant race in many ways. When we did Sims, so there's a lot of pennant races going down to the wire. It does not seem to be the case. The real interest may be who calls out who and the fact that we have an extra round of playoffs in the postseason. So this wraps up August. I will post the file and I'll say, let's give it a day or so, get your manager files in for September, and let's get September done and bring on the extended broadcast possibilities for the playoffs. Look at our league leaders, Benny Koff leading the league. Maybe if it's going to be a fun race between Manchester and San Francisco. Can Envy pull off a division win, or will he fumble down the stretch? He's already closed up, being a few games back. Can he catch Nooch? Only time will tell. File will be posted soon. Thanks for tuning in, and